welcome to Mr. Randy's Wine and Spirits. I am Mr. Randy, and today we're going to be doing another episode of Off the Rip. If you're new to the channel, hello and welcome. Come on in, have a seat, let's have a drink, shall we? For all my returning viewers, you know how we do. Come on in. So, what is an Off the Rip episode, Mr. Randy? Well, Off the Rip is a first part of a three-part series which I do the whiskey reviews. That's my format, that's how I do it. So, off the rip, I get the bottle home, I crack it open, I have a first pour, and I share my first impressions with you because you deserve it. You do. You really, really do. So, second part, we're going to come back halfway through this bottle when we've given enough time and space to open up, see if it changes the characteristics. For better, for worse, it is what it is. Part 3, all the way down here, we're going to do what's called the final pour. Maybe final pour or 2, depending on how well Mr. Randy can nail it down there. But that's where we're at. We're out on the first pour, trying to figure out... Oh, okay. Just twist it. All right. It looked kind of like it might have been a cork, but it wasn't. Little plastic. So this is the Label 5. Glug, 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 glug. Is that plastic? What is that? Yes, okay. So it is a plastic insert. It's inserted into the glass mouth. That's the first one I've seen of that. But we're going to go ahead and, just for safety purposes, we're going to put the cap back on it while we take a look. See, this is a 12-year-old Scotch, Label 5. Have you heard of this? It is a relatively inexpensive Scotch. It's the original, by the way, just in case you forgot. Label 5, Premium Reserve Blended Scotch. So it is a blended Scotch coming in at 40%. It is a 700 milliliter. There is the backside there. Pretty much everything, I guess, that may be required by law to be on there. Bare minimal. You gotta love it when they just put out the bare minimal. What is that? Well, we'll get more information as we do the second part, which is the full review. It did come in a nice fancy box. It is rounded, delicate, and generous. That's interesting. Fully matured in oak cask in Scotland. If it's not Scottish, it's crap. Age stated. We like that. Scotch, age stated. We'd love that. So there's that. There's more. Tasting notes. Appearance, medium amber. I'll check that in a moment. Nose, wonderful balance of oak, smoke, and crushed fruit berries. The palate is creamy, smoothness as lingering flavors of fruit and oak smoke. Long, delicate, and generous finish. Well, we will be the ones to figure that out. There we go. Distilled, matured, and bottled by Label 5 First Blending Company in Bathgate, Scotland. We'll go ahead and put that to the side. Hope we've given this enough time to open up. Take a good look at that. We're going to get some coating on the side of the glass while we pull out Mr. Randy's handy-dandy whiskey color scale. Off camera, we're going to say, what was that? What was the coloring they said on that one? Medium amber. So they claimed medium amber. So where's my amber? I have, there it is. There's the amber. It's definitely more than amber. There's the burnt amber. This one's I'd probably say it's a little bit more of a burnt amber than a medium amber. What do you think? Think it's darker than that? I would say it's probably burnt amber, borderline copper. We'll get more into that as it comes down the line. So let's get it under the nose. It does smell like a cheap blended Scotch for sure. I'm trying to search for something unique. It's got a slick, that's a weird terminology to say on a nosing. It's got like a slick sweetness. Not quite a sickly, but like a slick. It's probably going to be oily. Did we see any? Did we get any legs off of that? It's really hanging in there. Not a whole. There we go. It's starting to now. There we go. That's some, I guess, relatively moderate. Let's go ahead and get on the palate. That's nothing like the nose, but it may balance out. Once we get to the halfway point, it might balance out. It definitely does taste like a cheap scotch, a cheap blended scotch, but it's a 12-year. 12 years, and you can't pull out anything special. Now I'm interested to figure out exactly how this is done, just for the sake we could put it to bed. I don't find anything special. It definitely got that cheap taste. There's like a cheapness to it. I don't know how to explain it at this point in my my whiskey journey with all my knowledge accumulated. It's got a weird smell. Not bad, but something I haven't smelled before. Someone's out there having fun. It's really flat. It really is kind of flat. It definitely kind of disappointing at the moment because it's supposed to be aged 12 years. And there's not a whole lot going on. There are a few expressions. There's a base expression. There's one in the middle. There's a bourbon barreled. It specifically says bourbon barreled. I don't know quite a lot of information about Label 5 at the moment, other than that they do have in my area the 4 expressions. And this is the top one. This is the top one. I was going to start with the bottom one and work my way up, but it may not even be worth it at this point now. After I fully complete this review for this bottle, that's when I will make the determination whether or not to take the step down, you know, find out which one that's right underneath this. I think the bourbon barrel, I think it's a little bit more expensive than this one. We'll have all that information in the full review when we get halfway through this bottle and give it a couple of weeks to open up. But let's get a finish on this. Not bad, but much akin to the palate. This might be an evolution scotch, where the nose is meh, the palate is a little better, and the finish is what takes it home. So at first, my first impressions is that the nose is relatively weak. The palate's a little flat. The finish might be the redeeming part. The finish gives you pretty much a whole mouth sensation. Viscosity is better on the finish. It really coats the mouth. It's got a little bit of spicy heat sitting on the back, right about the esophagus. Almost, ooh, yeah. A little spicy. A little bit of heat. The cheeks, the gums, the tongue, not so much on the roof of the mouth, but all relatively light. Probably, I'd say, being generous, I'd say it was a 3 out of 5 for the finish with its intensity. Hopefully by the time we get back here at the halfway mark, it'll be rounded as it claims to be. So join us, will you, back here again some weeks from now and let us know what you think in the comments. Have you heard of this? Have you tried them? Which one would you say was the best? And as always, thanks for stopping by here at Mr. Randy's Wine and Spirits. I am Mr. Randy. You have a good one.